What's up, guys? How's it going? Glad to have you back here at the Crown One, and I'm super excited because seems like I'm always saying I'm super excited. I just like doing what I'm doing, guys, and this is one of those opportunities where I get to express that with the Rippaverse. If you guys have not heard of the Rippaverse, I would kindly ask you to crawl from under your rock if if you have been living under one. But what it is it's an independent comic book magazine developer ran by the one Eric July, and he's been on the stomping grounds creating his own comic book. I would just say comic book genre. He's created an entire universe called the Rippaverse, and this is actually going to be Isom 2. So if you get a chance, I'm going to be having a link in the description for this webpage, which is the Rippaverse.com. But I will say I'm a bit late to the party as far as reporting on it, because as you can see, it was published on the 9th of earlier this month, and also the pre-order launches was done on the 12th, which of course was last Monday. However, I still wanted to report on it because I'm becoming a huge fan of the Rippaverse. I already have issue 1, which came out, I believe, late last year. I want to say early winter, late autumn. I do apologize for not getting that time frame wrong, but I do remember it being late last year. I got issue 1, and I'm still reading through it, but I want to hurry up and get around to it. I've been so busy just trying to get some other stuff done, not making excuses, but I'm still no less intrigued and interested. I'm just even more excited because now it's coming out with Isom 2. That's going to start delivery, I want to say, in July. Again, I'll be having a link to the website in the description. The orders are still going out. I would hurry up and jump in as far as getting in your orders, because they're going like hotcakes. His first launch for Isom 1 hit about 3.5 million in donations. As far, I won't say donations, but purchases, and and it says right there, you'll see right there in the highlighted red, it says $3.7 million from his independent comic book distribution. That right there is just astronomical, because his goal was, I think, 6 figures, but he hit 7 figures easily in the 3.7 million sector, and it's just pretty awesome. So let's go ahead and jump to it and go through this real quick. And it says, can he do it again? And of course, this is on his website, and let's just check it out. It says, hello Rippaverse. With so much discussion, hype, and controversy surrounding it, it's safe to say that Isom 1 was a success, to say nothing of over 60,000 books sold and thousands of wonderful reviews from our great customers would be a discredit to the fantastic team that made it happen. Still, we can't express enough how sincerely happy we are that you were all satisfied with your purchases and enjoy the book. Many outlets and entities online tried to ignore its success as thought it wasn't as though it wasn't one of it not the biggest. I'm sorry if I'm reading that wrong. The biggest stories in independent comics, but whether or not they chose to acknowledge it, $3.7 million later, it's still undeniable. You made your voices heard, and we've made our presence known. Our company has grown since we first started with the launch of the first pre-order campaign, and our team, from the warehouse to the website devs to customer service and day-to-day back-end, consists of absolute rock stars. Everyone on this team is grateful for all the support and enthusiasm you have shown right from Jump Street and leading into stories to come. And on that note, everyone wants to know about the follow-up. Some called our success with Isom 1 lucky. I don't think that was luck. I think that was just pure strategy. Now, he has a YouTube channel that he does a lot of his broadcasts. He does recorded broadcasting. He does live stream, and I've had the chance to watch both of them. I would say I've been watching him since before the pandemic, because he's been out that long. And I remember when he was at, I think one time he was at 20. Well, of course, he was at 27,000 subscribers. I remember him watching him from then. and just interested in some of the content that he's been putting out, and also just talking about his own personal journey and how, it seems like some of the more mainstream comic book distributors have been kind of, I don't know, they're kind of kicking some of the fan base to the curve, calling them toxic or, man baby, stuff like that. And I don't entirely agree with that. In fact, I don't agree with that at all. You don't want to insult the people that made you popular in the first place. It definitely creates a separation, and you start to see them go elsewhere, and then you insult them for going elsewhere. And it's just like, some people just don't get it. People want to exit a toxic relationship, and then you insult them for it, which only confirms that they didn't appreciate you from jump. So I don't think this was a fluke. I think this was something that was methodical, something that is up and coming, and I think it's going to continue to stabilize within the comic book industry. And I'm not saying that because I'm a huge fan or becoming a huge fan of the Rippaverse. I just think that, again, based on what people have been feeling as far as just mainstream media as a whole, it seems like the fan base, whether it's Star Wars fan base, Star Trek fan base, if it's, I can't even remember, starting to have a brain leak here, Doctor Who fan base, it seems that the fan base that have made these franchises so popular are kind of getting stepped on. These people have put their time and effort creating their own type of fanfic or whatever the case might be, or fan trailer, to show their love and devotion, for some of the things that they like, and they're kind of being pushed to the side for whoever or whatever. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but you don't bite the hand that feeds you. That much I do know. With that being said, moving on, it says others still think that we can actually hit even greater numbers. I totally agree. Whether they are bigger supporters or not so much, and everyone in between. Everyone is going to be watching this next campaign like hawks. And those are for the haters, and those are for the lovers too. To assume a $3.7 million campaign every time would be an unreasonable expectation. But if we can make even a fraction of that, it will be a huge success, allowing us to reinvest back into the business. At the end of the day, what truly matters is that those of you who purchase a product are happy with it. And just to jump down further, it says we will win. And let's see, is Andrew. Okay, this is the person who wrote it, creative and social media manager. So, like I said, I totally agree with him. He's one of those people that probably just felt disenfranchised by the industry. Now I can say that just on some of the articles, or even not articles, but some of the people that are in mainstream comic books or just mainstream video, pop culture news, have personally come after him. And I think that's pretty unfortunate, because I think that he has something to offer. He definitely has something to offer, obviously, and that there are people like myself who believe in him. Now, I bought 2 copies of issue 1. I actually got a copy that I can read, and then I got a mint condition copy that was signed. That I do not intend to open at all. I'm going to keep that in mint condition. I'm already getting a case for it and a stand. Just for future posterity. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'm just going to keep it there. I want it in mint condition because I know I'm going to be reading the other one. It's going to get oil and dirt on it and stuff like that, and I don't want the wear and tear of a nicely minted comic book. With that being said, that's pretty awesome that he's going to push on forward. And there's also a saying that he says monetize the haters, and that's exactly what he's been doing. There have been people, like I said, have launched personal ad hominem attacks against him, and he's been trucking on. I honestly can say that he has a strong backbone, because some people, it can be a bit rough, and I'm not saying it hasn't been rough for him, but if there is any weakness to be had, I haven't seen it yet. Or maybe he's taking time to pull away, take a breather, which is also good. So let's go ahead and jump into the next article here, and that's gonna be this. So, personal story. When I first got my PS5, and I bought a an SSD for my PS5. That thing was like 300. No, I'm sorry, not 300. Oh my goodness. I bought a terabyte and it was about $120. And this was last year, 2000, like the beginning of last year, January 2022. And that's when I was building my tower, the tower that I'm using current day. And when I bought, I'm sorry, not tower, but my console, the console that I'm using current day. And I can honestly tell you that when I bought the SSD, the M.2, it was just expensive. But of course, I bought it anyways because I wanted something to save on my PS5, and then I didn't want to save on, of course, the regular storage console because it just wasn't enough for the games that I was trying to load. So I ended up getting an M.2 Seagate Firecuda, and that was about $120, $130. So with that being said, I'm glad to see that the prices are finally starting to go down. And I always wondered why they were so high in the first place. Maybe because it was still new gen technology, or it had something to do with cryptocurrency akin to the GPUs that had high prices. Because I got a fresh GPU. I got the 12 gig MSI Nvidia 3060, and I got that at a great deal. I got it at $299. But I don't know if I would have been able to get the same price as last year because, the boom of cryptocurrency using all the GPUs set the prices high because the demand was high. The prices went up. But back to the M.2, I have one of those for my PS5, and it was still a lofty price. I wanted to get the 2 terabyte, but the 2 terabyte they were charging almost twice as much, sometimes 2.5 times as much, and I just didn't want to invest in it. I mean, I already had enough, and if I needed more space, I would just have to delete more games. With that being said, it seems like the prices are starting to go down on the M.2 solid state drives. And if we look here, it says, let's go ahead and scroll back to the top. It says the best PS5 SSD deals today. And of course, the date's marked June 2023. And the 2 terabyte is finally under $100. I'm surprised it's under $200 again, because the prices for the 1 terabyte was still fairly high. It was nice consumer price, probably at the upper end of consumer price. But the 2 terabyte, like I said, it was it was a non-starter. I mean, it was 200 plus. And, of course, people want more storage, so obviously they can store more games, but outside of it being new technology or something, I'm not sure why it was so high. But moving forward, the prices have started to drop, and here are some of the name brands that you see, like Silicon Power. You have ADATA, I guess that's how you pronounce it, ADATA. Corsair. Now, I'm not trying to. Okay, we got Samsung, and then Western Digital Black. Now, I'm not trying to push you into one area, but I looked at a Corsair 2 terabyte. I want to say a couple of weeks ago because I wanted to upgrade this for not for my PS5, but for my tower. And again, the 2 terabyte at that time, even when I wanted to get it then, it was still high. But with the exception of the Corsair, that was actually lower than all the other M.2 solid states. WD Black, that was still high back a couple weeks ago. Samsung was high. Of course, I really didn't want to get an M.2 Samsung. Really don't look at Samsung when I'm trying to get computer tech, and that's just my own personal preference. I always look at WD, Corsair, or Seagate when it comes to memory. I think that's still pretty good for the prices, that price points that they have. I definitely want to encourage you guys, if you get a chance or if you're in the need for new technology. You also have Crucial. Crucial's pretty good. Next Storage. Okay, this is something else. PCIe 2. Okay, yeah. So this is also a M.2 solid state, and actually some more name brands. But I guess I'm kind of being a brand fan. I would probably be looking at the WD Black or the Corsair or even the Crucial for that M.2 upgrade 2 terabyte. But I think it's still fine if you go with some of the other lesser known name brands, because these are PlayStation 5 friendly. And I'll also have a link within the description if you want to check it out. Yeah, go ahead and do so at your leisure. I do appreciate you guys taking this time, just checking me out. If you've lasted this long, I want to encourage you to, like I said, make sure you budget your stuff right. You don't have to get the top technology. It's, technology updates almost every second, and it's almost like a car. The moment you put it off the lot, the value goes down. So with the technology, it doesn't always have to be new gen, next gen, whatever. It could be the next gen down, or it can be a couple generations down. Whatever fits your price point. You don't want to break yourself trying to get the latest technology, because it will, eventually in time, it'll be the oldest technology, or not as new as it was before. But thank you guys again. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will talk to you guys later.